Alright, this message is for Jarrett Acock. I have something I need to tell you really quickly here. I've had sent a personal email to this Facebook account, and I want you to know that there's a lot of people trying to do things to put a wedge between us. I think I stand clear as far as my agreements and disagreements towards you. But I wanted to know that I never wanted to hurt you. And I'm still content to think the same way as I thought of since 2017 of September, where the Hurricane Harvey thing went involved. Remember exactly how I discovered you, Brother Jarrett. Now, I gave instructions on how you can verify a fake from the real. I have made those instructions clear on this Facebook message, and this information is not to be exposed to nobody and their mama except myself or you, because it's getting to the place where there are people that are doing things in the name of my name, and it's not really me. The most I ever done is called you a chia pet head. The most I ever done was made constructive criticisms to things I didn't agree with. I don't agree with the narrative that you say that 8-year-olds should sleep with any age. I don't agree with that. I believe it's a pedophilia thing. Are you a little pedophile? Well, the actions that you've done is similar, but that didn't make me act no more different or no more worse towards you. We can agree to disagree. So, for you, if you don't know, because there's a lot of accounts, there's several accounts that claim they're me, as well as claiming that there are other people as well. Anywhere from Marty McFly making an account called Polly Walnuts, pretending that he is Gorgeous George, and that person that you see as Gorgeous George is not that person. It's not Gorgeous George. That's not Gorgeous George. That's somebody pretending to be Gorgeous George. That's Marty Hungren. He was the one back in February that called your house and tried. I don't know if his intentions were good, but he didn't want to call your house and was doing stuff under Garrett Wars. And as far as I'm concerned, there are other people that duplicated my account name as well before they made Jarrett Wars. So I created a system where you can verify the real me from the fake. Maybe this, I know it's stupid, but it's the only way. Ever since 2017, I have seen things of this guy that I would never seen of myself, because I was robbed of these things. And I believe you're just a misguided person. I'm not saying this out of attacking or nothing. I don't care if you get mad in this video. It doesn't matter. I'm speaking the truth. And when you help somebody, you do things in the name of that. Believe it or not, I've seen a person that's hitting himself from the main things. Unlike these people that you dealt with, such as Toxic James and other folks such as Sabisky and anybody and their mama. I don't even watch these programs. I'm not even related to Drunken Peasants. I don't even watch these people. I don't even watch the other guys. I mean, I've had Chris, I had Alistair, I had them visiting my chat, but that's just a formal conversation. I mean, we talk about you, but I don't agree with everything they do, and they don't agree with everything that I do. But we have what's called a neutral respect, and I'm not friends with these people, for the record. But I have what's called a neutral respect. Anybody that treats me with respect, I treat them the same back. Some of them were my adversaries, and I just gave examples. But I treated them with more respect than what you did with me. You treated your people that you don't even know. You can't even confirm that they're your friends. You can't even confirm anything. They don't understand you. They don't. I do. What really draw me to you is that I saw something on you way before I've seen it. And when I realized I was right, I was shocked. Please. I know when I told your father this stuff, I was hyper and I was talking real fast and I was windy. I'm a little calm, I guess, on pre-recordings than as opposed on the phone in person speaking to someone. But I'm not after nothing else except helping somebody. I wanted to be a mentor. But not just that, I want us to help each other. That's what you said in this video. We're here to help the world. We're here to change the way things are and make it better. I see it. Please, listen to what my mother has to say. My mother is not lying. Do you believe that my mother would lie about all this stuff that she has said to your father? No. My mother's a truth-telling person. And I can't believe that you won't acknowledge it. But I'm kind of glad that you're not acknowledging it, because I'd rather for these people not to acknowledge this shit, because they will try to do things again and again. It's just like a hero in a cartoon or in a movie or in a story, and as long as that person is around, they're gonna have villains that are gonna try to do their plots. I'm telling you right now, this is the only way. I'm telling you, it's not the only way, but it's one of the ways, because there's nothing you're gonna get out of this crap. Listen, this video may not even get through Jared. I don't care. This may not even do nothing, but something told me to try just about a half hour ago, 15 minutes ago, and that's what the fuck I'm doing. I'm trying. In one of the Facebook messages, I've sent a recording with my mother and your father, and listen to it very carefully, because it is for what it is, and it's been for what it is. The most I've done was try to call him a chia pet head and then get blocked, but that was because I was making fun of a bad situation. I was making fun of a situation that I couldn't do nothing about and was frustrated about, and that was the only reason. It had really no anger attached to it. I mean, it was more like, this is impossible, and I just want to make fun of a bad situation. But I never did condone any of the shit that you went through, as far as pizzas delivered to your house, this whole internet drama in general, where the cops come over to your place. I told this same thing to your father, as well as I'm telling you. I never condone that shit. I don't condone anything that has to do with things that are outside of constructive criticism, that are outside of speaking the truth, and that is plain harassment and bullying. You say that I'm a con, but look at the folks around you. Those people are the cons. They have made accounts referencing myself when they're not me. Some of them, they reference other people when they're not those people. Some of them reference things that are not even real. Matthew Heimbach, the guy that you're speaking about, is not after you. He has no relations to what you're doing whatsoever. He doesn't. He's a high status person, and he has no relations to you. He doesn't know nothing about you. There is no neo-Nazi party group. These people are messing with your head. I'm trying to be sincere as possible. I didn't tell your father all this because it was so much I couldn't think of, and I was so hyper. It wasn't even funny. But listen to me. All this stuff that you're saying is people fucking with you. There's people fucking with your head. There are people fucking with you. There are people from the EFAP crew, not from the EFAP people like Rags and them, no. But there are other people that are fucking with you. And you're listening to every little thing that someone says. Someone says that somebody else swatted you. Nightbreed Gaming, which I don't talk to Nightbreed and he doesn't talk to me. The last time I tried to talk to him, he refused to talk with me. But he even told you who was the person that swatted you. And he confronted that person that swatted you. I forgot the name. And that person had blocked him. So, Nightbreed is telling the truth. He knows the person that's been swatting you. It is no neo-Nazi party whatsoever. I'm not part of no neo-Nazi party. There is no neo-Nazi party. There is no gang members. There is no raided situation. I can tell you this, there are people on the internet that are messing with you just to get a reaction. They may play on your side, but the only thing they want is a reaction. They all want a reaction from you. And they got even worse since you made those comments about 8-year-olds. Maybe you were out of hand when you said those things. But at the same time, I think what you should do, and I'm not trying to do nothing to hurt you, but I'm saying this for your own benefit and for the fact that it is for what it is. Say, look, you know what? Those comments I made about 8-year-olds, they're just, first of all, I didn't mean it for what it sounds. Second of all, I apologize for anyone I offended. It should be out of you. It should not be through an interview. It should not be through a pressure of someone else. It should be out of you. It's your choice. But people say, and this is what I do agree with you on. They say, well, the pizzas wouldn't be happening if it hadn't been for your son making comments. No, that stuff that's happening with the pizzas and the cops coming over has not a damn thing to do with Jared's actions. It's just somebody else's stupidity and ignorance of showing their disagreement in a foul play way. And I know this for sure. So I can agree with you there. So, on this Facebook account, I have a password that every time I visit you, I give you this password in email, not through the chats, of course, because anybody can see my password. This password is a password I made up. It's a password code. You know how kids get taught by their parents to get a password code of someone that they know and someone that they don't know. If they don't know the password that's not given by their parents, then they know not to talk to strangers. Well, I came up with this system where if you know who I am, you know the password. If you don't know who I am, or if I don't know who you are, and if no one sent you to me and give you this password, then I shouldn't be talking to you. You get it? And I gave it in the Facebook, this Facebook account. I don't even know if Jared's going to even get this. But I'm still going to stand for what I believe. And I'm going to do what I'm going to do, even if I win the fuck, even if I lose. I don't care. And I'll go as far as to say, if I mention names like Chris, then Thurston, and other people that might have been responsible for some of the stupid stuff that's happening, I'll apologize. If it's not you people, I will apologize. But I don't agree in the way that you've been hostile to Jared. But at the same time, Jared wasn't perfect either. For the sake of the conversation and for the sake of facts, Jared wasn't perfect either. But to put me in the category the same as Jared is an unrealistic equation. Jared is much more a higher functioning person than I am. I know because I've seen people like him. And all he needs is just that little help, that little jumper that's on the engine just to get him going. I know. And I don't give a damn. And I'm glad that this channel is not looked at for no one to like. Because if it were to be that I would speak the obvious, I want to read a scripture that backs up what I'm saying. The Bible, which is one of the things I like, says prove all things. And so I want to speak the TGDMFT, the TGDT, and the TGDMT. Now, so those that for those that are at odds with these abbreviations, the TGDMFT is the slower version of saying the same thing, goddamn motherfucking truth. And the TGDMT is the regular speed of speaking goddamn motherfucking truth. And the TGDT is a abbreviation that's term used, the goddamning truth. Because if it isn't damning and if you're agreeing, thank God Almighty. But if it is damning, it's damning you motherfuckers. If at best. Only if at best. Sorry for that little shock there. You didn't even expect that yelling. If at best. You didn't even expect it. But, let me see. Give me the scripture where it says, I will boast such a man, but I will not boast myself. 2 Corinthians chapter 12. Anybody that got a book and haven't wiped their ass with a Bible, look at 2 Corinthians 12, verses 4, 5, and 6. And it says here, I was caught up. Actually, you know what? I will just... Yeah, actually, this all ties in. I was trying to rethink what verse should I read first. It's 4, 5, and 6. So, 2 Corinthians 12, once again, verses 4, 5, and 6. And it says, I was caught up in paradise. So what this means is that you are caught up into the positive things, but not the friction of how life works. Life works through the powers of compression, no different than an engine or a certain friction. Paradise is outside of friction, outside the jurisdiction of compression. It says in verse 4, I was caught up to paradise. The things he heard were too scared for words, things that man is not permitted to tell. Meaning that things that I'm doing or things that are unusual that normal people wouldn't understand or other motherfuckers wouldn't understand are not permitted to speak. Another scripture says if you do something good to somebody, not to let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And it says here, verse 5, but reading over at verses 4, and it says, I was caught up to paradise. Sorry, I was hyper. The things he heard were too scared for words, things that man is not permitted to tell, things that are greater than that are all understanding that certain people are not permitted to tell. Verses 5 says, I will boast such a man, but I will not boast about myself except in my weaknesses. I am doing that right now. I am boasting in my weaknesses as well. And when one boasts in weaknesses, it's trial, it's error, and tribulations, and other motherfucking shit similar to that crap. Verses 6 says, but we're going to read it verse 5 one more time to reconfirm. I will boast such a man, but I will not boast about myself except in my weaknesses. Verses 6 says, even if I wanted to boast, I will not be a fool, because I would be speaking the truth. But I refrain, so no one will credit me with more than he sees of me. So in other words, nobody won't credit me with nothing, with unnecessary stuff than really what I deserve. You notice how you go and watch these TV stars or anybody that does something good, or just people being famous that get told they're the best people in the world when they really are not. They're getting too much credit than what they really deserve. I don't want to be one of those motherfuckers. I want to be credited for exactly what I'm doing. But sometimes it's better if you don't even see it in a way of friction. That's what this narrative of 4, 5, and 6 of 2 Corinthians 12 verses 4, 5, and 6. Sits here reading again. Even if I wanted to boast, I will not be a fool, because I would be speaking the truth. But I refrain, so no one will credit me with more than he sees in me or hears from me. Or hears from me. So, I got to speak to TGDT. You know that there's some people that are against me right now. They got an account right now. They made up stories and saying that I spam some idiot. I don't know who the fuck he is. You're the one that discovered him a year ago. I'm not even going to mention his name. He's some kind of 20-year-old kid or 20-year-old man, whatever. He keeps making up stories that I emailed him, but he's the one that's been harassing me. And on top of that, he's setting this up to get you to even turn further from me. Whenever he comes to your chat, he mentions my name to you. I got this back in February. Not back in February, but back in August or September. 2 Liter J is his name. I don't know his real name and I don't care. But from what I understand, you discovered him because you thought he believed in the same faith that you believed in. But boy, you discovered him, and he became one of my adversaries. I never talked to this guy, but he seemed to have an issue with me. He has an account called a petition to remove me. He's been giving me ransom responses towards me and blackmailing me for something because I have the attitude that I've been expressing within the last, how many minutes has been? 22 minutes of this recording. I have to do it. I'm not going to let nobody bully me. And 2 Liter J and other people, it's not just him, there's other people, but right now he's one of the current ones. They've been bullying me off this for over a year, man. But I can't stop. I can't. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. Just like what you stood for as far as what you believe, I'm doing the same thing, but in my own trip. So, you even made up lies, I think, just to fit in with the crowd, saying that I do long hour videos. Well, if 22 minutes is a long hour video, I'll be damned. Because maybe I don't know how to count, but I thought 22 minutes was less than 30. I thought 22 minutes was less than 60 seconds. But I digress. I'm going to try my best to reach Jared. If I can't, so be it. I've done my work, and I've done my mission, and I couldn't give a fuck regardless. Let me just put this down here. Let's see. Where is that? Where is that dumb? Let's see. Let's see. To Jarrett Michael Acock. And then I get a picture of Jarrett here. You know, when they first found out back in November that I was following Jarrett Genesis, they tried everything they could to discourage me. Jarrett, they tried. Everything they did was out of their own personal I would like to say it's not racism, it's character prejudice, because they felt this guy is stupid. He has no reason to follow Jared. We need to get him away from this. Well, guess what? I don't give a fuck what you're thinking. Some even flagged channels that I've had based on you. It had nothing, and some of my channels wasn't even all about you. Like in this channel, Jared Wars, I've done things about Gorgeous George to even doing nonsense purposely to fuck with them. I used to be crazy on the nonsense, but I kind of lowered it down because I realized that there are people that will take what I say seriously. I'm not a troll, and I couldn't troll no one for shit, but I'll tell you this, these people are not the people that you would want to fuck with. This 2-liter J guy, I recommend you not talking to him. And all these other people, be careful, because I guarantee you, they're not your friends, they're just after something. I am the only one that understands you, as far as I could tell, but I'm not the only one in the world, for the record. There's other people too, but I like to say, in terms of the best way to describe it, is there's more people like myself, but they're in the diamond in the rough kind of situation. They are the diamonds in the rough kinds of people. So, even if I win and even if I lose, guys, I don't give a fuck what you think regarding Jarrett and what you're going to try to do against me, because I'm going to stand for what I'm going to do. Whenever I do something, I do it. Even if I win it, even if I lose. And I think it's a pretty cowardly thing to do, to try to make up stuff, make spoof accounts, do all this stuff just because you are threatened by somebody that wants to help someone. I'm not after no one's fame. I don't care about these YouTube stars. I don't want to be on no interview. I don't want to make no fucking money off you guys. I don't care. I wanted to help people since I was a child, God damn it. It lived the fuck in me. And it'll still live the fuck in me. I told Jared's father, aka Michael Acock Sr., the guy that is the father of Jared Genesis, that I told him right on the phone, and my mother didn't like it, but I didn't care, but his father laughed. I says to him, look, Mike, with all due respect, and I don't mean no harm here, but my life is a piece of crap. And if I can't help myself, I told God, I said, God damn it, let me help somebody else. That's exactly what I told his father on the phone. I told his father this shit, and he laughed. He even laughed about the Chia Pet thing, but it was a minor thing. It wasn't making fun of him. It was just out of fun. But at the same time, I meant what I said about what I've said, because I told him, I said I had arguments with why I existed, and I told God, I said, whatever the fuck you're doing, and that's as I told his father, I said, if I can't help nobody else, God damn it, let me help somebody else, God. That's what I told God, and that's what I told your father. If at best. Only if at best. I'm done what I got to say. Thank you for watching. Jared, if you're going to contact me, I would suggest you email me at this address. I'll give it to you down below. It's better to share your comments privately, because these people are so obsessed with us because they don't want nothing positive to come out of this crap. Not all of them. I mean, there are some people that I will say that are not obsessed. Like you said that Christian Thurston was the one that's responsible for all this. Chris hasn't done nothing for over 6 months, dude. Christian Thurston has laid off of the channels that he had. He closed down his Jared Acock channel. Chris opened up to me and said that he hasn't done nothing to you. In fact, the Green Ranger beatdown guy is not Chris. And Chris said that the Smiga Unlimited is not him. Chris hasn't done nothing. He might have done stuff before, And there's things that I've seen him doing directly to you and directly to me way before I heard of you that I don't approve of. But he is not the main enemy. He is not the person that's causing all these problems. He doesn't have an organization. He's not a Nazi. He's not anything. You're being told lies, my friend. You're being told lies. Here is my email address, angryd4400@gmail.com. Email me, Jared. angryd4400@gmail.com. Email me. Don't respond to this video. Just email me, goddammit. Because I feel by you responding to this video is going to draw these people to do worser things. Jared, I thank you for listening. And if Jared doesn't see this video, I don't give a fuck. I thank you for the time, whatever's watching, to hear my plea. Because if one wants to help people, they'll do anything they can. And I'm not after nothing. I don't give a fuck about anybody and their mama. When I want to do something, I do it. Goodbye.